Hey everybody, how's it going? If you walked into my shop and you asked me what was wrong with your product, what would it cost to fix, and I told you what it would cost, and then you asked, well, what's wrong with it? And I said, well, I can't tell you because that would create a security risk, a security concern. And you asked me what the security risk or security concern was, and I refused to tell you. Would you be skeptical? I imagine you probably have some skepticism, particularly if you had come to my shop just 1 or 2 years earlier and you asked what was wrong, and I was more than happy to tell you what was wrong, and there was no security concern. Yet, when it comes to larger companies, what I find more often nowadays is they're able to say, well, this is for security, 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 even though just 1 year ago they may have not had a certain practice in place or a certain limitation in place that prevented you from being able to either work on your own device or have somebody else work on your own device, and they will invoke security. And what I'm noticing is lacking is that healthy skepticism that people would have if somebody like me were to use that as an excuse. So, one of the things that I'd ask of you today is have the same level of healthy skepticism for the large companies that you purchase products from that you would have from just about anybody if they were to use the exact same reason on you without justification for why they were limiting your knowledge, limiting your options, limiting what you could do with what you own in any way, shape, or form. I believe it was my earth science teacher from Wagner High School. His name was Mr. Sinclair. I feel bad because I wound up always falling asleep in his class. I'll be honest, I just didn't find his presentation of earth science to be very interesting. But one thing he said that always stuck with me is, if you get anything out of this class, even if you wind up not knowing anything about science, I want you to walk away from this class with a healthy skepticism for everything in the world. Don't become some crazy conspiracy theorist. Don't go out there and just make shit up as you go. But when people tell you something, have a healthy skepticism and ask for an explanation, ask for a reason, look it up, ask for citations. If something's different today than it was yesterday, ask why it was the way it was yesterday and whether or not we're better off today as a result of something changing. And that really kind of stuck with me for the rest of my life. And I got more out of him saying that one thing in his class than from 1 or 2 years of just boring textbook earth science in a monotone voice. And it really did stick with me. And I think that if more average, everyday people had a healthy level of skepticism for what they hear from the companies they look up to, the companies they admire, the companies they buy stock in, the companies that they fanboy for, that we would live in a much different world. Because when I look at the evidence provided or the reasons provided by many companies for doing the things that they do, I just try to think to myself, would I be able to get away with that if I use that excuse on my own customers? And I don't think I'd get away with it for a second. I think they would laugh at me. I think they would go, what are you talking about? I want an explanation. I want a reason. That's not good enough. And I don't see people pushing that way when it comes to manufacturers that they may purchase products from because they like that particular manufacturer. But I think they should, and I think it would make the world a better place. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's actually a really nice view here, is it not? You see cars going across the bridge, right over the lake, and every now and then a little boat comes by. There'll be a boat that goes over there, and it'll go by over there, and then it'll go back over there. It's really cool. I can't imagine what it would cost to live here. Again, having this view for one evening, it's kind of cool. It's a nice view. It's a pretty nice view. But I could only imagine what it costs to live here. Probably some $4,000 or $6,000 a month for an apartment or something. Gives me a very New Yorkish feel. So this is like a downtown Chicago area. Beautiful from a window, but yeah, I live in a 4-story walk up, so you don't really get much of a view like this. But it's cool, isn't it? Here, I'll let you enjoy it for just one more minute before I end the video. Got the Chicago Tribune building over there, much smaller than the New York Times building near my office. New York Times building near my office is a damn skyscraper. And I'll give you a wide-angle view too. There you get a nice wide-angle view while you're at it. Look at that. Switch back to normal. That guy has a truck down there. Take a look at this. It says classic rock on it. Isn't that cool? All right. I'll see you all later.